The moment you tell a man everything is the moment he stops looking at you the same, not because you did something wrong, but because mystery is power. There are 5 things every woman must protect with silence, not to deceive, but to stay rooted in self-respect. Because once certain truths are exposed, they're used, measured, or misunderstood. Stay until the end, because the last one is the reason so many women get hurt and never understand why. Sealed wounds? The very first sanctuary of silence, the initial and perhaps most crucial realm where discerning privacy becomes an act of profound self-stewardship and energetic integrity, concerns the deepest, most tender wounds of your past. I speak specifically of those experiences that are still in the active, delicate process of healing, those emotional fissures and psychic bruises that have not yet been fully alchemized and integrated into the resilient tapestry of your accumulated wisdom and strength. This is not an encouragement towards building impenetrable walls of denial, nor is it a suggestion to pretend that shadows, pain, or past adversities do not form part of your unique human story. Rather, it is a call to recognize, with profound compassion and unwavering clarity, the sacred vulnerability inherent in your own healing journey. To prematurely unveil these unhealed depths, to lay bare the rawest, most sensitive experiences of trauma, betrayal, or profound pain before you have undertaken the deep, often solitary internal work of metabolizing their impact, of truly understanding their embedded lessons, and of consciously transmuting their potent emotional charge, can inadvertently invite energies, responses, or dynamics that are not conducive to your ultimate restoration and wholeness. Imagine, if you will, a physical wound, still open, inflamed, and acutely sensitive. It requires a meticulously clean, protected, and undisturbed environment to mend properly, to regenerate tissue, free from unnecessary prodding, external contamination, or premature exposure that could invite infection or impede the natural healing process. So too, your emotional and psychological wounds, especially the most profound and formative ones, necessitate a period of inner sanctuary, a sacred holding space where they can be tended with wisdom, patience, and unconditional self-compassion. Sharing these vulnerabilities indiscriminately, particularly with a man with whom you are in the nascent stages of forming a connection, before you yourself have found solid, unshakable ground with them within your own being, can subtly yet significantly shift the energetic dynamics of the emerging relationship in unintended and often unhelpful ways. It can inadvertently place an unspoken and often unfair emotional burden upon the other person, who may not be equipped, willing, or even aware of how to hold such delicate disclosures with the requisite care and wisdom. Worse still, it can make you susceptible to misjudgment, simplistic interpretations, profound misunderstanding, or even the unconscious projections of someone who, despite potentially good intentions, may not possess the emotional maturity, the lived wisdom, or the unwavering, unconditional positive regard necessary to hold that sacred space for you without causing further, albeit unintentional, injury or re-traumatization. There is a profound, quiet strength, an undeniable dignity in choosing to tend to your own healing garden first and foremost, in diligently seeking out trained guides, wise mentors, or deeply trusted, discerning confidants who are specifically equipped and called to assist in this delicate, sacred work. When you eventually choose to share elements of your past from a place of already having navigated much of the internal storm, from a vantage point of earned insight, integrated strength, and profound self-acceptance, your story then becomes a powerful testament to your resilience, your courage, and your capacity for transformation, rather than appearing as a raw, uncontained plea for rescue, validation, or emotional caretaking that you are still desperately seeking to find outside of yourself. This conscious, discerning privacy, this sacred holding of your healing process, allows you to maintain your energetic sovereignty to ensure that your narrative, when and if it is shared, is offered from a position of intrinsic power, self-possession, and integrated wholeness, not from a space of unresolved fragmentation or lingering victimhood. It is, at its core, an act of profound self-respect, a deep acknowledgement that your most intimate healing is first and foremost your own sacred responsibility, your own inner alchemy. The respect a man often feels, especially a man of depth and discernment, frequently stems from intuitively sensing this inner fortitude, this quiet capacity for self-containment, self-healing, and emotional self-regulation, rather than from being made the immediate repository of unintegrated pain or unresolved trauma. This allows any new connection to build upon a solid foundation of present strength, mutual respect, and authentic presence, rather than being prematurely weighted down by the unprocessed fragility of the past, ensuring that the bond forms from a place of conscious choice and genuine resonance, not from a dynamic of emotional rescue or codependency. This mindful guardianship of your healing journey is a silent testament to your inner wisdom and strength. Closed chapters. The second significant domain where thoughtful discretion and conscious privacy serve as powerful guardians of present harmony, energetic clarity, and future relational potential pertains to the specific, often highly charged, intimate details of your past romantic and sexual relationships. This is not, I must emphasize, a call for cultivating an aura of secrecy, nor is it a suggestion to engage in any form of denial regarding your personal history, for it is undeniable that our past experiences, our joys and sorrows, our connections and disconnections invariably shape the complex and unique individuals we become. However, the intrinsic sanctity and unique potential of your current or developing connection with a man is often best honored and preserved by consciously choosing not to invite the energetic ghosts, the unresolved emotional residues, or the detailed narratives of past intimacies into the shared, sacred space you are endeavoring to build in the present moment. Each past relationship, in its own distinct way, represents a closed chapter, a unique energetic imprint upon your soul, complete with its own specific lessons, its own particular joys, its own painful moments, and its own inherent sacredness, regardless of how it may have concluded or what emotions linger. To recount intricate, sensitive details of past loves, profound heartbreaks, or specific physical connections, especially in a manner that inadvertently or overtly draws comparisons, be they favorable or unfavorable to either the past or present individual, or in a way that seems to relive and re-energize those past emotional intensities, can subtly yet significantly erode the unique, precious, and often delicate foundation you are attempting to meticulously construct in the present. Such disclosures can inadvertently introduce unwelcome elements of insecurity, subtle or overt jealousy, or a pervasive, unsettling feeling of being constantly measured against an unseen, often idealized or demonized predecessor, creating an undercurrent of unease for either party involved. Moreover, the decision to maintain discretion about these intimate particulars reflects a certain profound respect, or conversely, a potential lack thereof, for the inherent privacy and dignity of those individuals who were part of those past chapters. They too, it must be remembered, have a fundamental right to their own story, their own memories, and their own privacy, which ought not to be casually broadcast or dissected without their explicit consent or thoughtful consideration. A woman who consistently demonstrates the profound wisdom to hold the intimate particulars of her past relationships with a sense of dignified closure, with emotional completion and respectful distance, communicates a deep and abiding respect for the preciousness of the present moment and for the unique, irreplaceable individual who stands before her now. She silently yet powerfully conveys that her focus, her energy, and her heart are rooted here in the now, dedicated to consciously cultivating and nurturing what is, rather than perpetually dwelling in, being defined by, or seeking to recreate or repair what was. This discernment, of course, does not mean that you cannot acknowledge the simple fact that you have a past, or that you cannot share broad, depersonalized lessons learned if they are genuinely relevant to a present situation, and are shared with conscious intention and profound discernment. But the intimate play-by-plays, the detailed emotional dissections and reenactments of former partnerships, the lingering, unresolved grievances, or the overly romanticized eulogies of past lovers, these often serve very little constructive purpose in fostering new trust, genuine intimacy, or a sense of unique specialness, and can, in fact, create subtle yet pervasive energetic interference, casting long shadows over the nascent light of a new bond. A man of depth and perception often deeply respects and admires a woman who can be fully, authentically present with him, who makes him feel that their burgeoning connection is a fresh, unspoiled canvas, unmarred by the lingering shadows, the pre-written scripts, or the emotional baggage of previous engagements. This thoughtful discretion signals a high degree of emotional maturity, a well-developed ability to healthily compartmentalize experiences, to honor energetic boundaries with grace, and a clear, conscious focus on co-creating something entirely new, uniquely theirs, rather than unconsciously replaying old patterns, seeking validation for past choices through the lens of a new partner, or attempting to heal old wounds through a new relationship. It allows the current relationship to breathe its own fresh air, to find its own authentic rhythm and unique trajectory, free from the often heavy and distorting energetic weight of overly detailed or emotionally charged histories from bygone eras of her life. This respectful holding of past intimacies is a powerful statement of presence and readiness for new beginnings. Trusted Vault. The third critical aspect of your life, where the conscious practice of privacy acts as an undeniable cornerstone of personal integrity, a powerful magnet for genuine trust, and a profound attractor of deep, lasting respect, concerns the sacred confidences entrusted to you by your innermost circle, your closest friends, your cherished family members, those individuals who have vulnerably chosen to make you a trusted steward of their most delicate vulnerabilities, their private struggles, and their personal, often sensitive stories. Your demonstrated capacity to be a reliable, unwavering, and deeply respectful keeper of secrets, a veritable trusted vault for the delicate, often fragile truths of others, speaks volumes more eloquently than any words about the intrinsic quality of your character, the depth of your loyalty, and your fundamental, unwavering trustworthiness. When a woman consistently and naturally demonstrates that she holds the confidences of her friends and family with profound respect and unwavering discretion, consciously refusing to casually disseminate their private affairs or personal information, even in moments of seemingly harmless casual conversation, light-hearted banter, or in a misguided attempt to bond with a new acquaintance through the often superficial currency of shared gossip or insider knowledge, she radiates an undeniable and deeply reassuring aura of profound integrity and steadfast character. This quality, it must be understood, is not merely about being superficially good at keeping secrets in a passive sense. Rather, it is a dynamic reflection of a deep intuitive understanding of energetic boundaries, a profound reverence for the sacredness of human trust, and a mature acceptance of the solemn responsibility that invariably comes with being chosen as a confidant, as a safe harbor for another soul's vulnerability, to share another person's private struggles, their unannounced triumphs, their personal challenges, or intimate family details with a man, especially one with whom you are in the process of building a new relationship and establishing mutual trust, can inadvertently and damagingly signal that you may not in the future accord the same high level of unwavering discretion and respect to his own future confidences, or to the delicate private sphere of your potential shared life, should the connection deepen and evolve into a committed partnership. Such breaches, however minor they may seem at the moment, can subtly yet significantly undermine the foundational bedrock of trust, which is arguably the most paramount and indispensable element in any truly meaningful, lasting, and intimate human connection. A man, particularly one who values depth, integrity, and loyalty, observing this admirable quality of steadfast loyalty and unwavering discretion towards others in a woman, often intuits with a sense of deep reassurance that she is a person of high moral character, someone who truly comprehends the immense weight and inestimable value of trust. He perceives that she is not one to carelessly or strategically use private, sensitive information as a form of social currency, as a tool for gaining fleeting attention, or as a means for achieving ephemeral connection through shared negativity or drama. This remarkable ability to be a consistently safe, non-judgmental, and reliable container for the vulnerabilities and private experiences of others is profoundly attractive and deeply respect-inspiring because it suggests a significant depth of emotional maturity, a clear and consistent respect for interpersonal boundaries, and an inherent, almost instinctual reliability that is rare and precious. It silently communicates that she is not primarily driven by a neurotic need for external drama, vicarious excitement, or personal validation through the often turbulent lives of others, but rather possesses a strong, grounded inner center and a well-developed sense of self. This admirable characteristic does not, of course, mean that you cannot speak generally and lovingly about your friends or family, or share your own personal experiences and feelings as they relate to them when appropriate and with their implicit or explicit consent. But the specific private details, the sensitive information, the vulnerable disclosures that were shared with you in explicit or implicit confidence rightfully belong within the secure, inviolable, trusted vault of your unwavering discretion. This quality builds a quiet yet immensely powerful field of respect and admiration around you, clearly demonstrating that you are a pillar of strength, loyalty, and trustworthiness, not only for your existing inner circle, but also as a potential partner who can be implicitly relied upon to honor the profound sanctity of shared intimacy, mutual vulnerability, and the private sacred life you may build together. It is a clear and compelling testament to your developed ability to manage sensitive information and potent emotional energies with profound wisdom, unwavering integrity, and exceptional grace. Quiet gardens. The fourth significant area where a cultivated measure of sacred privacy can be immensely beneficial, acting as a potent nurturing force for your own growth and a silent beacon of your inner strength, involves your most ambitious, deeply cherished, and often nascent dreams, as well as your significant personal plans and long-term aspirations, especially before they have developed sufficiently strong roots, a clear, discernible form, and a palpable momentum of their own. I invite you to think of your most cherished aspirations, your grandest, most heartfelt visions for your future, the seeds of your unique potential as tender, precious seedlings in a quiet, protected, and lovingly tended inner garden. In their earliest, most delicate stages of germination, sprouting, and initial growth, these nascent dreams are often exquisitely delicate, remarkably vulnerable to the harsh, often unpredictable winds of external opinion, the chilling frost of premature judgment from those who may not understand or support your vision, or even the well-intentioned but potentially misguided advice, doubts, or unconscious projections of others who may be operating from their own fears, limitations, or unfulfilled desires. To broadcast these fledgling, vulnerable dreams too widely, too indiscriminately, or too soon, particularly to someone whose full, unwavering understanding, deep resonance with your vision, or unconditional enthusiastic support is not yet deeply and unequivocally established, can sometimes inadvertently diffuse the precious, focused creative energy and potent life force that is absolutely required to bring them into full, vibrant manifestation. Such premature disclosure can invite a distracting chorus of external voices, some genuinely supportive, some unconsciously skeptical or envious, some perhaps projecting their own unhealed wounds or limited beliefs onto your aspirations, that can inadvertently confuse your hard-won clarity, dampen your precious fiery enthusiasm, or even sow insidious seeds of self-doubt and hesitation within your own heart and mind before your inner conviction has had the necessary time and space to solidify into an unshakable knowing. There is an immense, often underestimated, creative and protective power in consciously choosing to nurture these quiet gardens of personal aspiration within the sacred sanctuary of your own inner world, or in sharing them only with a very select, highly discerning few individuals who are proven, unwavering champions of your growth, who genuinely resonate with your unique vision at the soul level, and who can offer wisdom and encouragement without imposing their own agenda. This crucial period of quiet, focused cultivation allows your dreams to gather intrinsic strength, to clarify their emerging form from within, to develop resilience against potential setbacks, and to become deeply rooted in the fertile soil of your own unwavering belief and committed action. When you eventually choose to speak of your plans and aspirations from a place where they are already taking robust, tangible shape, where you have courageously overcome initial hurdles and navigated early challenges through your own dedicated efforts and have developed a clear, actionable pathway forward, your sharing then naturally carries the undeniable weight of authentic conviction, lived experience, and demonstrated commitment, rather than appearing as mere abstract wishful thinking, fleeting fantasy, or unsubstantiated ambition. A man of substance and discernment often deeply respects and admires a woman who clearly possesses this inner capacity for self-directed creation and focused manifestation, a woman who doesn't necessarily require constant external validation, applause, or permission for her goals, but who instead possesses a powerful inner drive, a clear vision, and the profound wisdom to protect and nurture her burgeoning visions until they are strong enough, resilient enough to withstand external scrutiny, potential criticism, or the inevitable challenges that arise on any path of significant creation. This wise approach does not mean living in complete, isolating secrecy about your ambitions or passions, but it speaks volumes about your discernment regarding when, with whom, and how to share these deeply personal, often exquisitely vulnerable aspects of your unfolding life journey. Sharing your most precious dreams too early or too widely can sometimes be a subtle, unconscious seeking of external permission or premature approval, which can paradoxically dilute your own intrinsic motivation and diffuse your focused creative power. By holding your nascent dreams with a certain reverence, a sacred privacy, and a deep sense of protective stewardship, you consciously honor their immense sacred potential and diligently cultivate the unwavering inner focus, profound self-discipline, and resilient perseverance required to bring them into glorious, tangible manifestation. This quiet, powerful incubation of your dreams, this disciplined focus on inner cultivation before outward declaration often commands a far deeper and more lasting respect than a constant scattered stream of unformed ideas or uncommitted pronouncements, as it powerfully signals a woman who is deeply, authentically connected to her own rich inner wellspring of creation, purpose, and potential, and who possesses the profound wisdom, patience, and strength to nurture it effectively and bring forth its unique fruits into the world. Sovereign flow, the fifth and final realm where the practice of discerning privacy can profoundly safeguard your personal autonomy, foster healthy relational dynamics, and cultivate an atmosphere of mutual respect, relates to the full, intricate, and often highly personal details of your independent financial landscape. This includes your specific income streams, the extent of your savings and assets, the nature and scope of your investments, the particulars of any debts or financial obligations you may carry, or any inheritances or significant financial windfalls you may have received or anticipate receiving, particularly in the earlier formative stages of a romantic relationship, before a profound, unequivocal level of mutual commitment, deep emotional transparency, and consciously chosen shared life structure has been firmly and mutually established. This guidance is not intended to foster an atmosphere of deceit, unhealthy secrecy, or undue guardedness around a topic that is, for many individuals and couples, a practical and often necessary aspect of navigating shared life. Rather, it is an invitation to consciously maintain a healthy degree of financial sovereignty and to exercise prudent, thoughtful discernment in how, when, and with whom this deeply personal and often energetically charged information is shared. Money, whether it exists in perceived abundance or in challenging scarcity, carries significant energetic weight and can, often subtly but sometimes overtly, influence power dynamics within a relationship, shape unspoken or spoken expectations, and even alter the perceived nature and motivations underpinning a connection. Revealing the full extent of your financial strengths, assets, or income prematurely might, in some unfortunate instances, attract individuals whose primary motivations are not purely relational or heart-centered, potentially drawing those who are more interested in your resources than in your authentic self. Conversely, disclosing significant financial vulnerabilities, debts, or insecurities too soon in a relationship, before a robust foundation of deep trust, mutual understanding, and unwavering emotional support has been firmly and demonstrably established, could inadvertently lead to feelings of undue burden on the other person, invite unwelcome judgment or criticism, or potentially foster an unhealthy dynamic of dependency or financial enmeshment before the relationship has the maturity to navigate such complexities. A woman who navigates the sharing of her personal financial information with thoughtful consideration, mindful timing, and graceful discernment, neither overtly boasting of wealth or financial independence, nor prematurely burdening a new or developing connection with detailed financial woes or anxieties, demonstrates a profound and mature understanding of interpersonal boundaries, a quiet confidence in her own self-reliance, and a healthy respect for her own autonomy. She silently communicates that her intrinsic sense of self-worth, her value as a human being and as a partner, is not primarily or excessively tied to her financial status, whether abundant or modest, and that she approaches relationships from a place of offering emotional depth, intellectual companionship, shared values, and genuine personal contribution first and foremost. In a deeply committed, loving, long-term partnership or marriage, a high degree of financial transparency, collaborative planning, and shared stewardship of resources are, of course, often essential, healthy, and conducive to mutual growth and security. However, in the delicate exploratory process of getting to know someone new, of building the initial foundations of connection, maintaining a degree of privacy and discretion around the specific granular details of your personal financial flow allows the connection to develop and deepen based on more intrinsic, enduring, and soul-nourishing qualities, such as shared values, emotional resonance, intellectual compatibility, spiritual alignment, and genuine mutual respect and admiration. It consciously prevents financial considerations from unduly coloring perceptions, influencing motivations, or creating unspoken pressures on either side of the nascent relationship. A man of discernment and integrity often deeply respects a woman who demonstrates financial astuteness, responsible stewardship of her resources, and a clear sense of independence in managing her own affairs, and who doesn't strategically use her financial status, or perceived lack thereof, as a primary tool for engagement, validation, manipulation, or as a central topic of conversation in the early stages of dating. This discerning and thoughtful approach to sharing sensitive financial details signals a profound groundedness, a commendable practicality, a well-developed sense of self-possession, and a deep respect for her own autonomy and the organic unfolding of the relationship. It allows the vital seeds of trust, intimacy, and genuine connection to be sown and to grow on a foundation of authentic personal resonance, rather than being potentially influenced, distorted, or prematurely complicated by early or inappropriate financial disclosures. It is about consciously ensuring that the natural sacred flow of intimacy and the considered construction of a shared life unfolds organically and authentically, with financial integration occurring at a stage where it truly aligns with a mutually chosen, deeply shared journey and a well-established, unequivocal mutual commitment. This careful stewardship of your financial narrative protects both your autonomy and the purity of the developing bond.